Going live.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Anybody? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Hump day, hump day, hump day.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of... Oh, I almost said Into the Light. Of Lifting the Veil. It's been a good 2 weeks, so welcome back, Franz.
Thank you. It's good to be back. Back on Lifting the Veil.
yeah, as I said, Into the Light.
So yeah, it's been a good couple of weeks.
Awesome.
We I had somebody comment on the last video asking about the App Bash cipher. So
Yeah, I actually was wondering the same thing, because it looked different backwards. So I was wondering how you came to that. So this, definitely let us know.
yeah, I mean, when I first had the thought too, I had that first thought too, and it like 6 letters, 5 letters, 4 letters, and it's presented and spoken in our natural language, our natural to us language, So I just wanted to, tell the viewer thank you for the comment and the constructive criticism. It's exactly what I like. I'm going to better myself or better my presentations and give you the right information in a better way. So if you view this now or later, please comment, ask for more clarity or give topics. I go at it wholeheartedly. So just wanted to put that out there.
No, that's good to get out there. Yeah, people should
I'm
always...
apologize.
Huh?
So I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm starting to get a little cold from my son.
Oh, man, you got the Rona? Oh, man, you better go get the medicine, bro.
I better. I should. Yeah.
You need to get boosted.
Anyways, yeah, back to school season is 6th season.
Oh, dude, when my daughter was young, oh my goodness, probably kindergarten, 1st, 2nd grade, always sick, dude. It seemed like all year round, just sick.
Yeah,
She'd get over one cold, catch another one. Get over one, catch another. It's like, oh my goodness, this kid's sick forever.
Not even in school a month, and I'm like, oh boy. But you got to get up early and be out there. No bus goes up our road, and the school had air quality problems, so they spent $90,000 to rent wedding tents. So they're outside quite a bit.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yeah.
Are they fixing the air quality thing?
Well, their solution is to get air purifiers and I'm like, wouldn't $90,000 that you spent on renting tents?
Yeah, I was gonna say, why didn't they just redo the HVAC with that, that money?
I don't know. You have to be a rocket surgeon to be in the school system and make, highly evolved decisions like spending $90,000 on rentable tents.
It's funny. There's people that we have teaching our kids have no sense.
They're kids. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Good thing they're teaching children. Oh, man.
Yeah. And we're the crazy ones.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let me start presenting and I'll jump right into my presentation.
All right. Let's say hi to the chat room here, if I can.
All right. I'm assuming I'm there we go.
Yeah, it's coming out. And, yep.
All right.
Good to go.
Okay, so I knew exactly what I wanted to put in this week's presentation, and I wanted to start off by going deeper into the app bash, but I was trying to figure out how I could lead into what I wanted to present, and I think I went down a few rabbit holes and found the connections.
Not you.
Yes. So here we go. It's a little image, right? We're writing, whether you're left hand or right hand, we spell English and write English left to right, from top of the page to the bottom of the page.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna break this app bash down here, and then as I do, I'm gonna explain how I got that. Okay. So this is how we write A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You see how we go left to right.
Yeah.
Note that Hebrew is written from right to left rather than left to right as in English. So Aleph is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet and Tav is the last. And they write left or right to left. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So we're visually looking at backwards alphabet as we're writing Hebrew and English.
Okay.
Hebrew, here I just give you a little etymology or parent systems, is Hebrew comes from Egyptian hieroglyphs and Proto-Synthetic script, Phoenician alphabet, Aramaic alphabet, and to the Hebrew alphabet. All right to left. There's 22 Hebrew letters. Alif, Bet, Gemel, Dalet, He, Vav, so on, and the last is Tav. There are no consonants or vowels. Vowels appear as dots and bars above, beneath, to the left of the letters. This system of dots and lines is known as niqud, a Hebrew word which means applying dots. So they don't have the same vowels as we do. So it's going to be difficult because it's written backwards to what we visually acknowledge as forward writing.
Okay.
So this is the alphabet. There's single characters, but when you sound them out, like I just did, some of them are 3 letters, some of them are 4 letters, and we're spelling them in English with vowels. In Greek's parent system's almost exactly the same, from Egyptian hieroglyphs, Proto-Synthetic alphabet, Phoenician alphabet, into Greek. Greek has 24 letters. It was the iconic alphabet that was eventually adopted by Athens and became dominant across Greek-speaking world. The ancient Greek alphabet has 24 letters. Ancient Greek added vowels and consonantal language to change the horizontal writing direction from right to left. So it was Romanized, but it's still ancient Greek is right to left. And these are the letters. A, we recognize one letter A, but it's alpha, right?
Yeah.
So when we write, you write from top of the page from left to right, and then you pick up your hand and go back to the top of the page. You know what I mean? So you lift up your hand and go back.
Yeah.
So they call this type of writing that Hebrew write and the Greek write as plowing the field or ox turning, because when you read, you're supposed to read from right to left on the first line, then left to right on the second line, then back right to left again on the third line, and so on and so
In
on.
what language? Greek?
Both.
Oh,
Hebrew,
really?
yes. So that is what I was explaining in the last. It's called the serpent way, because you're not actually lifting your hand up and starting back over, like how you're plowing a field. You know, you get to one end of the field, you turn around and go back.
Right, right. Don't waste the trip. Yeah.
Right. That's what they're doing with the writing.
Wow, that's messed up, man. I mean, it makes sense in my
Like,
mind, but like,
right.
you know what
And
I
and
mean? Like thinking of it, doing it like that, I would have to write. That would be weird.
so if you were doing it in English, you would write A, B, C, D, E, F, G across left to right, and then start at the second line at the right and just keep going, but your letters would be backwards.
Right? You'd have to write your words backwards.
Correct.
Yeah, that'd be wicked true. My head, I don't think
Like
could
Paul
handle
Arrows, right? Yeah. So
that.
that is where you get confused, and then you're trying to make sense of it in our English language that has consonantal language. It's vowels, you know. Um, so when you write from right to left in Hebrew, and then the serpent way or plowing the field, and then you write left to right backwards would look correct to us, but it would be correct in Greek. Do you see what I'm saying now?
Yeah.
Like this. This is turning the ox. Left to right, right to left. So one line would look forward. The second line would look backwards. The third line would look forward. So if we wrote it that way and then somebody reading Hebrew or knew Hebrew, the first line would look backwards. But then this is where the at-bash cipher comes in because it's a Hebrew code, which substitutes the first Hebrew alphabet letter for the last, and the second, and so on. When the Hebrew letters spelling Baphomet, as we see it, Baphomet, they're applied to the at-bash cipher, writing it in the serpent way, right to left, left to right, without lifting up your hand. It generates the Greek word because the backwards Hebrew is spelling Greek forward, Sophia. The Hebrew word translated through Greek is a word that translates to Sophia. And then if you went to the next line and wrote you a Hebrew word, and the at-bash form is Baphomet. It's still Baphomet. Does that make sense? Or am I completely frozen and you can't hear me?
No, you froze up like twice, but it seems like it came back on and started again with the word you were going to say next. So it
All right.
made sense.
Should I start that slide over? I'll just start over. All right. So how I was explaining right to left, left to right without lifting up your hand. Now the at-bash cipher is a Hebrew code, right? It's for the Hebrew language.
Yeah.
So if you're writing right to left, left to right, forwards in Hebrew and backwards in Hebrew, it will spell Greek, right? And they use the at-bash cipher, which substitutes a Hebrew letter, the first Hebrew letter for the last. So when you write Baphomet, the correct way in Hebrew through the at-bash cipher, it gives you a forward Greek word that translates to Sophia.
So you're not only switching direction, but you're also switching languages.
Correct.
So that would explain.
So Greek and Hebrew, you can go with the at-bash cipher in that serpent way of writing, and it'll go Hebrew, Greek, and the translations go back and forth the same way as you're writing.
Okay. That makes
So then
sense.
So when you translate the Greek word through the at-bash,
What is going on? Something's going on.
cipher gives you a Hebrew word with the Hebrew spelling. Still froze?
Well, you froze up a little bit, but I got my all right, my YouTube was spinning. I think they don't like us.
No.
They don't like us, man.
I think that this whole thing was designed to be confusing and screw with you. So me trying to clarify it's probably not really their favorite thing to do right now.
My mom says, "What would be the purpose of writing this way?"
The It's in code. You would have to be bilingual and to understand the at-bat cipher. You would have to be very good with the alphabet. It'd be like, a cop pulls you over and says, recite the alphabet backwards to make sure you're not drunk, right? I mean, who
Dude, I
cracked?
can't do that sober, man.
That's what I mean. You know what I mean? So you would have to be fluent in doing that.
Yeah.
And you would be surprised. It's just to the actual, what are they? The Dead Sea Scrolls wrote the Serpent Way with an at-bash cipher. That's how it was decoded.
All right. Yeah, well, that makes a lot more sense now. Because when on the last show when I was looking at it, and as soon as I saw the comment, I knew exactly what he's talking about because I thought the same thing in my mind. But this makes more sense because it's going not only switching direction, but it's also switching languages.
Correct.
So the letters are different. They're called different things. You know. So yeah, no, that makes good sense. That was a good explanation.
If you didn't, if you weren't able to message,
You're freezing up again.
is
You keep freezing up, buddy. Can you hear me? All right, YouTube is definitely messing with us.
almost exactly the same as the Russian alphabet. It stinks. I got good Wi-Fi right now too.
You do? Because you keep freezing up.
All right. I don't get it. Yeah, my signal. I can try.
I mean, you're coming through clear right now.
All right. Well, I'll continue. If it keeps happening, I'll switch positions. So the word Baphomet, pet p vav mem taf, with the at-bash cipher sin vav p yud aleph, spells Sophia. Although written in Hebrew, it reads the Greek word Sophia again, meaning wisdom.
Yeah, see, that's what was confusing last week. Is this the same slide you used last week?
Right. No, I mean, it's the same writing, but I created a new explanation of which coincides is that Athena and Sophia are one and the same.
Athena.
And Sophia.
Yeah. I swear that's Artemis, right?
Yep.
Okay. I was like, man, I've done comparisons with Athena before.
And it's all connected.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's like Thoth and Egyptian created the pillars of wisdom, right? So that's why you see things that are monuments for Athena with pillars, why everything has pillars. And that is what has led me into the beginning of what I want to
You keep freezing up.
to present. And
You froze as soon as this picture came on. Can you hear me?
Parthenon with all the pillars.
Hey, can you hear me? I'm going to send you a text. Soon.
How
All right, Franz is moving. Apparently, he is having some connection issues. So, please stand by and be patient. And I will take this time to tell you that I have completed the Golden Compass movie. However, I am having difficulties getting it onto YouTube. I'm catching a lot of copyright hits, and as of right now, it's not viewable to anyone. So I have to keep uploading it and editing it, because it will tell you where the copyright is so you can try to fix it. But that's the problem when you have to use a lot of clips. So that will hopefully be up by Friday, maybe tomorrow night. But yeah, you're not going to want to miss that. There's a lot of good information. And that movie from 2007 completely predicts what's happening today. All right, Franz is back.
hello.
What's up, buddy? Welcome back.
Sorry about that.
The room looks the same.
It is.
Did you move?
Yeah. Lifted the whole room and everything.
I just moved the room.
Excuse me. Yeah. Like I said, I'll just find a new spot. All right. So hopefully we can get through this now.
Yeah, so as soon as you put that picture of the Temple of Athena on, it froze.
The Parthenon?
Yeah, so if
all
you
right.
want to just start back up there, that'd be awesome.
And you can hear me still and everything pretty good?
Yeah, you're coming through like a champ.
Perfect. All right. I apologize for that.
Oh, no worries, man. You can't help that stuff. What do you make these slideshows on? Google?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go back a slide. Where we? Oh, yes. I finished up explaining the Hebrew word written in Greek, meaning wisdom. Here again, we see the overlapping of functions between Athena and Sophia. So Athena and Sophia are one and the same. Talking about wisdom, you're talking about Sophia, you're talking about Athena.
Yeah.
And Athena has a Parthenon, a temple, in Athens, Greece.
Dude, those are huge columns, man.
Huge. Absolutely. So on the Athenian Acropolis, Greece, that was dedicated to the goddess Athena during the 5th century BC. His decorative sculptures and considered some of the high points of classical Greek art, an enduring symbol of ancient Greece, democracy, and the Western civilization. So it represented the new Western civilization of democracy. And there's one in Nashville, Tennessee. The Parthenon in Centennial Park, Nashville, Tennessee, is a full-scale replica of the original Parthenon in Athens. It was designed by an architect, William Crawford Smith, and built in 1897 as part of the Tennessee Centennial Exposition. So they call it a Tennessee Centennial Exposition, which is a World's Fair, but all designed to celebrate 100 years of Tennessee joining the states.
Seems like we do a lot of that in this country.
The celebrating the 100 years bicentennial.
No, but
Replicating.
yeah, replicating things that were in the old world in this new world.
And to do it so much that I know I do not believe it's replicating or paying homage. I believe we are the Western civilization of democracy they talk about.
Right, we're the new Rome.
Mm-hmm. So here it is. This is Nashville, Tennessee.
Holy lightning!
It's
Did
an
build it.
exact replica in the middle of Nashville.
What the heck, dude? Wow.
Yeah. Huge.
So I
And
wonder if they really built it or if it was here.
if it was here, I had to wonder. I definitely have had that thought.
Yeah, I'll bet you it was here, man.
I believe I would have to say that's true.
I don't see us building anything like this. We build squares, man.
Well, how is it? You know, if you stumbled across this and you were like, oh yeah, this is definitely celebrating the 100 years of Tennessee joining the states.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with the United
I mean,
States or Tennessee.
when you say it out like that, it sounds ridiculous. Like, no,
Yeah.
what? But the actual size, the replica of the Parthenon is not the only thing that baffled me. Here we got a night shot. If you notice, I'm giving you a lot of reflection pictures, and I'm going to lead up to that.
As above, so below.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So this is the inside.
Oh my goodness.
And you know who that is?
I'm guessing Athena.
Athena. Absolutely.
That thing is huge.
Huge. It is huge. She's holding the winged goddess we know as Nike.
Oh boy.
The Nike in her palm is 6'4".
Wow.
I'm 6'4". That'd be like me standing in her palm. That is how huge she is.
That's like, that gives Nike Air a whole new, right?
It does, right? Up in the air.
That
So-
bird flies, so I'm just like, Nike Air. Yeah, that makes sense now. Oh, wow.
Yes, nothing but occult symbolism all over this.
Look at the screaming face on her chest.
You see that? So
What
she also
the
has snake bracelets.
heck? Yeah, I just saw that next.
Yeah, she's got a snake belt. She's got a snake necklace. Athena's like back in the day that when you win the Olympics, you wouldn't get a gold medal. You got the what's the leaf? I can't think of the leaf now. I'm
So
drawing
that's
a
the
blank.
same thing Caesar wore, right, around his head.
Correct. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
the
what that was. What
Freemasons use that all the time as symbolism. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in our. I
forget
believe
what
it's on our
it
flag.
is.
So there's Nike standing 4'4". She's got a spear.
Yep. Apollo's tip of the spear. Yeah.
You can see her there. She's got the snake.
Wow. Holy. Yeah, when someone stands next to it, you really get a feel for it.
Yes, absolutely. It's like, what? Why in Tennessee? Why at all? Period. I mean,
Yeah, this is to celebrate 100 years of Tennessee being part of the nation.
yeah, and you know, and to
Yeah.
celebrate the Western world of democracy.
This is why the schools teach people what to think and not how to think.
Correct.
What is that on the right? Is that a dragon or something?
She's holding a shield and a snake,
All right.
a giant snake.
Yeah, that is a big snake. I thought it was a dragon. It was so big.
Yeah, look how big it is.
Holy lightning.
Red eyes and everything. So the shield on the other side has Medusa. See her? There she is with a
Oh
head
my
full of
word, with
snakes.
all the serpents around her.
Mm-hmm.
Dude. Like that whole story isn't even believable.
No. How can you believe that?
Tell me that pyramid is not on the side of
It was actually built. This is the when it
it.
was built, right, in 1897 for the World's Fair or Centennial celebration. And these other White House buildings were there. In 1897, here we are. The whole complex is strung up with lights, electricity.
That looks like something we would do today.
Yeah, yeah. In a movie.
Yeah. And it makes like a prism. Like it looks like a diamond in the with the
Doesn't it?
reflection.
Mm-hmm. As above, so below.
Yeah.
So in the Pantheon in with Athena in Nashville, the floor. I couldn't find a really good picture of it, but the floor is squared out on the inside, and it's a lighter color tile or marble or whatever the floor is, and it's shined, and it's represent the original Pantheon having a pool, a reflection pool. After it had been placed in Salia in 438 BC, a large shallow water basin was cut in the floor in front of it. The moisture was essentially to keep the wooden core of good condition, while the statue would have cast an impressive reflection on the pool surface. So the original in Athens was deliberately put a reflection pool, so Athena would have above, so below.
It's got to be some kind of spiritual effect.
It absolutely is because now when you have the full size statue and the Parthenon with the reflecting pool, you're getting the reflection, right? You're having not only just the symbolization of as above, so below, but now think of scrying, looking into a reflective surface
Right.
and speaking to the other, ghosts or an angel that's going to tell you, guiding spirit. You're just creating, you're opening up the portal for the spirits of Athena or whoever to come out of the water.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh,
It's something we do all over this country because this is the Pantheon in Washington D.C. and they purposely built a shallow reflecting pool, right?
yeah.
This is Lincoln's memorial, but it's actually a Pantheon. As above, so below.
Yeah, dude.
And I threw this in there because we were talking about roundabout
Yeah.
and all this stuff. There's just one conveniently around this Pantheon with the reflecting pool. But back to the other end of the reflecting pool, we have Washington Monument. As above, so below.
Man. People in this country have no idea where they live.
No, they have no idea. And you would think if you called this a monument, it would be like a monument to the person who's the deceased person. Like maybe there would be like a burial there or something, a monument to them. But he's not. Did you know the United States Capitol, which is just a little ways further down from the Washington Monument, the Capitol has a crypt. It's a large circular room filled with 40 neoclassical Doric columns directly beneath the United States Capitol Rotunda. It was built originally to support the rotunda as well as offer an entrance to Washington's tomb. George Washington has a tomb in the White House.
Yeah, and he's in the rotunda, right? Is that where the apotheosis is?
We're getting there because here's the
Okay.
column.
Yeah.
Nothing new under the sun, huh?
Yeah.
So this is directly below the rotunda. These are all the columns representing the Parthenon. And they have 13 statues to represent the original 13 colonies or states.
We so didn't build any of this stuff.
No. I don't think so.
No way.
Here we are. And it's a nice, beautiful, shiny floor to get that as above, so below. Here's his tomb. It's empty.
Yeah, he was like raised to God status. Yeah.
That is it. And that is the point. They got a star in the middle of the floor and it's locked up. It's to remain empty because in their eyes, he was deified. He was resurrected like Jesus. They gave him the status. And this is the very top painting of the rotunda. Zoom in a little. These few pictures are going to get blurry, but here's George Washington. It's called the Apotheosis of Washington. It's on their rotunda. There he is, sitting with two deified goddesses.
On top of a rainbow.
On top of a rainbow.
He took the rainbow bridge.
Purple, right? And he's got the Baphomet pointing down, pointing up.
Yeah.
So he's kind of holding a sword and just pointing down.
And there's Columbus or Liberty.
Right, the goddess of liberty.
Columbia. Dang, dude, I made that video all about Thanksgiving. I'm going to repost that this year, but hardly anybody watched it, dude. I put like a ton of work into that thing. Like,
I know, right?
It's like you make these videos, but people don't want the information because then they'll be like, oh, I want to keep celebrating Thanksgiving. Like, you know.
So
That's
here he
what
is.
Columbus made me think of. Yeah. And there's those leaves.
Yep. Oh, it's going to bother me now. I can't think of it.
You want me to look it up real quick?
Sure.
All right.
I'm going to feel silly when you say it. That's for sure.
Well, I guess I gotta type something, call it something different. I didn't like what I called it.
All right.
Yeah, you can keep going. I'll let you know when I find
Well,
it.
we've got like next page is a bunch of readings, so it's going to be a little description of what we're looking at here with George Washington. Well, I'll tell you real quick while you're looking that up that I was
They're calling it a laurel wreath.
the laurel wreath. That's what it is. The laurel wreath.
Yeah.
I think it's olive leaves, maybe.
Yeah, because the olive branch. That's what. Yeah.
Right. And they create the laurel wreath, and that's what you win when you win the Olympics. But
Right, because
so
the olive leaf is the symbol for peace, right? They say peace, peace, but there is no peace. You know.
Excuse me. Okay. So I was having a conversation with somebody who is a modern Mason, and they were talking about their Masons are different than Illuminati because Illuminatis are Luciferians and they do the as above, so below stance, with the Baphomet. And they said George Washington wasn't that way. He's not a Luciferian. The Mason stance will stand with 2 feet out and all proud like George Washington does. And I'm listening to him and I'm like, but he's on the rotunda sitting like the Baphomet.
Yeah.
You are programmed just as much as everybody else. It's like another conditioning,
Yeah, it's like the Freemasons, they don't even know what they're doing.
They don't. I was.
They have no idea they're Luciferians.
They call themselves the Goat Riders. And he was,
It's like, what?
and they sell shirts that say, "Hey, you want a goat ride?" No
How?
joke. And it's like, how can you sit here? They don't know. They don't know what they're talking about and
They're
what they're
blinded. But the
doing.
Bible does say, right? It says, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools.
Right. So
That
here he
false
is,
light.
sitting like the Baphomet on the rotunda of the state, the country's capital. He's wrapped in purple. All right. The apotheosis of Washington depicts George Washington sitting among the heavens in an exalted manner, or in literary terms, ascending and becoming a god. Washington, the first U.S. president and commander-in-chief Continental Army during the American Revolution War, is allegorically represented, surrounded by figures from classical mythology. When they say classical mythology, they mean Greek.
Yeah.
They mean the Apollo.
Yeah, the
They
gods
mean,
and
they mean
goddesses.
yes,
Yeah.
the Titans, the Olympians. Right? George Washington is draped in purple, worn by generals of the ancient Roman Republic, or Phoenician purple. Purple linen came from Phoenicians. Right? And they got the rainbow arch at his feet, flanked by goddess Victoria and draped in green using a horn. And to his left, the goddess of liberty to his right. So it's a blasphemy. He's deified and considered a god by emptying out the tomb and putting him up into the heavens on the rotunda.
This is what purple rain means.
Yes, it does.
People just think that it's talking like Prince is talking about like some rain falling that's purple because he loves purple.
Oh no, I got that song in my head.
Oh,
So
man.
to me, that's telling me he's a Phoenician god, Phoenician, Babylonian god. All right, so the Olympians, the Greek Olympians, the Greek mythology. If you look up Nephilim in Greek, you get Nephil, and they were unopened nymphs of clouds and rain. They arose from the earth, enriching rivers, Oceanus, bearing water in cloudy pitchers. Nephali fed the streams of their river god brothers with rain and nourished the earth. So Nephel married Athamas, who had twins, a son Preax and a daughter Heli. So I didn't point it out when I was showing you that huge statue of Athena, but she had blue eyes, and I've been talking a lot about blue.
Yeah, I noticed they really stood out on the statue.
Right. So back to the color blue and being Titans or Olympians or Nephilim, they're all the same.
Yeah.
And here, in lore, Olympus With a modern story setting, Hades is described as having a blue body color and living in the underworld where almost all the buildings there are also blue, like his body color. Blue, the Olympian.
You got me thinking of that song by Eiffel 65 or whatever. That blue, like, hey, it was blue and everything was blue and blue.
He got beat up and died.
Oh, man, sorry.
No.
That just started going through my head. I'm like, oh my goodness, I remember that song.
So Poseidon is associated with the color blue, and he's the king of the sea. And Ichor, the blue blood of the Greek gods. He's considered to be a blue blood. Uh, Ancient Greeks associated with Apollo, a deep blue or violet precious gem called hyacinth. It was called so because its color resembled that of the hyacinth flower. This gem was held sacred to Apollo due to the mythological connection. All right.
Avatars are blue.
Avatars are blue.
From
So
that.
I'm going to exit here and show you where I'm leading. Sorry about that slide. But so the twin son of what's her name? I just said it. I can't think of it. So I'm going to show you here,
The
and I'm
water
pointing out all these.
goddess.
What's that?
You talking about the water goddess?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, the water goddess. So I'm trying to point out Titans are blue bloods and the Nephilim DNA, and we've pointed out we talked about chimeras, like human animal chimeras, but I am pointing out uh, Nephilim animal chimeras.
Yeah.
And they're in the human kingdom, the animal kingdom, and now I'm going to show you that they're in the maritime, the water kingdom, right? So Phrixus and Helle, also known as Ellie, was hated by their stepmother, Ino. Right? She was a Theban princess who later became the queen of Boeotia, which, if you look that up, that was a place, a city that had what is a Greek god, but is the king of that Phoenician city. So they're actually Phoenician.
Yeah.
And she's known as Queen of the Sea. And so there's a story about these twins, and she hatched a devious plot to get rid of the twins because she hates them. So these two twins, they wanted to go see an oracle, and they traveled. Right, they were going to die. They're going to get killed. Long story short, they had Phrixus rode on a flying or swimming ram with golden wool. So they're escaping. He's saving his sister, and that was given to them this golden wooled flying or swimming ram with horns by their mother. And it goes on that he survived. She got killed. He survived, and he wound up paying homage to the sun god Helios, and he sacrificed this flying or swimming ram to Poseidon, and then gave the golden fleece. So, who is Poseidon? Poseidon is also associated with blue. He is the Olympian of the marine kingdom, right? And Apollo is associated with blue because of the flower, but that is actually the name. The flower comes from Hyacinthus. It's a Spartan prince of remarkable beauty, and he was the lover of the sun god Apollo. Okay. So now here we are in maritime, right? Or the marine kingdom. And we have blue blood. Those are horseshoe crabs. They're harvesting the blood of these horseshoe crabs.
And it's blue.
And it's blue.
I always, I always knew they were like called blue bloods, but I didn't think that it was actually blue.
It's actually blue, and it's blue. You know, we've talked about serpent blood, right? Serpent
Yeah,
blood is because it's copper based.
yeah,
All right. So isn't this? So this to me is the Nephilim, right? The Nephilim chimeras, the Nephilim continuing their DNA and their bloodline in every kingdom, not just the human or animal kingdom, right?
yeah.
And they're still infecting humans with Nephilim DNA. Because why are they harvesting the blue blood of horseshoe crabs?
Right, and God told us not to eat shellfish, man. Shouldn't eat lobster, crabs, shrimp.
And there's a reason for that.
Yeah,
Because they are Nephilim animal chimeras.
oh, I can get behind that for sure.
And it's to continue their bloodline. So it's like, if you don't identify with the name you were given, you don't identify with the gender you were born with, and you want to transition, you're so far from your soul that you are now easier to be inhabited by the soul of a Nephilim. That's what demons and ghosts and everything is. They are the soul of the Nephilim, the offspring. If you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just looking at this picture, man. It seems pretty cruel.
You would think, right? They've been doing this for many, many years, decades. Bleeding them out. These a gallon is worth $60,000.
Oh my goodness.
So a protein in the blood called limulus ambicoit lysate, LAL. It is used by pharmaceutical and medical device manufacturers to test their products for the presence of endotoxins, bacterial substances that can cause fevers and even are fatal to humans, derived from marine organisms to benefit humans. So that's their polite way of telling you what they're using this for. Obviously, they're using this marine animal blue blood for pharmaceutical reasons in the medical field. Now, horseshoe crab blood contains a unique enzyme
Can I
called
pause you for
LAL.
a second?
Yeah.
I just want to read you a comment.
Okay.
It says, guys, sorry to interrupt, but I have you here live in the now, and I know I'll forget later. Google Earth caught a fleet of them. Saw the saucers. I don't know if they're talking. Oh, I thought they were talking about those crabs. What is it used for? Those crabs.
All right. I haven't seen what he's asking about Google caught,
Well, I
but
thought he was talking about. I thought he's calling those little horseshoe crabs saucers.
no, he must have been just asking a question that's not related. But
Oh, okay, yeah. But then at lower it says, "What are they used for? What do they use that blue stuff
see
for?"
that now, yeah, he's asking about what the blue blood's used for.
Yeah.
But to answer your first question, no, I have not seen what Google Earth has captured, but I can tell you, it's not alien ships.
Yeah.
That is deception. Those are exactly what I'm trying to point out with this blue blood in the horseshoe crabs. That is the fallen angels. That is demons of the dead fallen angels. That's what demons are.
Yeah, they are the disembodied Nephilim.
The disembodied Nephilim, right? So they're trying to find hosts.
Yeah, there
You
will
know,
be, and I get this information directly from Celestial, at the Master's Voice Prophecy blog on YouTube and other channels, but she said that there are going to be the return of the fallen angels, the return of the Nephilim, but she says that the Greys also exist. She said they are a bioengineered life form they're a chimera
right? They
using
are
human DNA. They're a creation of the Dark Kingdom, and they will be coming in spaceships because humanity loves aliens. So they're
right.
going to come as aliens, but they're from hell. They're not from
They're
space.
not. They're not from space.
Right.
No, they're not. That's exactly what they are. And they're pretty much created because they know the end as well as our God does. That our God does pretty much punish them, take them out. So they're leaving themselves many options, as in the animal kingdom, the human kingdom, and the marine kingdom, to continue the DNA, the bloodline, to continue the hosts. Horseshoe crab blood contains a unique enzyme called LAL. It causes the blood to coagulate when exposed to bacterial endotoxins, which can be deadly.
You mean blood
Biomet-
clots, right?
right? Do you see what
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
biomedical
I'm following
companies?
closely behind, my friend.
Okay. Yeah. So the slide I said before, they give you that. That's their baby version. We test because if we're going to put like a peacemaker or pacemaker in your body, we want to just douse it with horseshoe crab blood to make sure it doesn't coagulate,
Yeah, yeah.
keep you safe.
Right.
So our body has and produces bacterial endotoxins. That's how we get our immune system. So if this blue blood comes in contact or exposed to it, it coagulates, blood clot.
Yeah,
And
which is totally
biomedical,
what's happening right now, right?
okay, yep. Biomedical companies use LAL to test medicines, vaccine, implants, and more for endotoxins. A horseshoe crab's blood has a blue and blue-green color when exposed to the air. The blue, the blood is blue because it contains a copper-based respiratory pigment called cyanin.
Yeah.
So our blood has hemoglobin, right? Because we're iron-based.
Did you ever see the I did a video talking about hemocyanin, and I brought up the molecule of it. You know what it is? It's shaped exactly like the star of Remphan, the Jewish star.
Yep.
That six pointed. That's what it looks like. It's like blue strings and then a red string going upside down. It's as above, so below. It's crazy, man.
It is crazy. So horseshoe crabs are harvested for their unique blood. I'm repeating myself because I've pulled these from many different articles that tried to sugarcoat this, but it also points out the truth because, like, coagulating. All right, so bear with me while I repeat myself a lot. Horseshoe crabs are harvested for their unique blood, which contains copper, making it blue, which is used in biomedical and pharmaceutical industries. Horseshoe crabs have a special component in their blood that clots and stops bleeding and protects them from bacterial toxins.
You just said it's used in biomedical and pharmaceutical. My mother says, she says, I remember a couple years ago I went in for a test and they put blue dye in my body.
That's right. And that blue dye is this. And then they gave you an MRI and trying to see where the toxins maybe illuminate.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. Yeah.
Yep. So what they in an article, I had it up here too, so I'm just going to talk about it. I wanted to show you the article because this was the key component in Trump's warp speed to get the vaccine done. This was in your COVID-19 vaccine. And because of the harvesting takes time and a lot of horseshoe crabs, they were allowed to make a synthetic version. So if you wonder why COVID-19 vaccines create blood clots, it's because of the horseshoe crab, blue blood. Right? And in that article, there was one sentence that stuck out to me, and it talked about what the blue blood, the LAL, does to a erythroid cell. All right, so I looked that up because I wasn't sure what that was. All right, and it said that the blue blood coagulates the erythroid cell and elucidate. Okay, so that's a fancy the erythroid cell is a fancy way of saying red blood cell. We have more than one type of red blood cell. This particular one is the one that carries the oxygen to your brain. So I had to look that up, and then the sentence ended with elucidate. I had to look that up. What does that mean? It was elucidated. It means explain, make clear, make plain, illuminate, throw, or shed light on. So basically, clots, it will the endotoxin is in the vaccine along with this thing that will react with your oxygen carrying blood cells and see that as a bacterial toxin and start clotting.
That's messed up, man.
So the further away you get from being the Holy Spirit and a full human, the easier it is for them to have a host if you don't, pass away from that.
Right. And even if you do, they might just zombie you up.
You won't even know.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, dude. Wait, what is that? Oh, that's that god. Dude, oh man, I wish I could remember. I'm going to do a video on it. Because Celestial wouldn't put it on YouTube, and I don't blame her because it would have gotten banned instantly. But I think I'm going to try to slickly put it on YouTube, like in a different manner. But she's talking about um, this new pill. It's going to be, the new convenient, easy way to have the vaccine. It's going to be sold as, of course, something different to a lot of people, and then it will be sold as the vaccine to some people, but it's a remote pill, so you can take it, and then everything that we're talking about, dude, and then when these frequencies get turned on, you go savage, bro.
Yep.
Instant zombie. You know what it reminded me of? Not only the videos we've been making, but you know that movie? Oh my goodness! I just saw it a couple weeks back. The Kingsman with Samuel Jackson.
Right. I haven't watched it.
Oh, you haven't, dude? So he puts he wants to give everybody free 5G, bro. So he sends out SIM cards so people can have free internet for life. So of course everybody gets a SIM card and puts it in their phone. And then he has this frequency, dude, that he activates, and people go nuts and start killing each other when he activates the frequency. It's like, dude, this is exactly what's happening, man. This is what's coming. You,
And it's not far fetched. I mean, it is coming, but they've been doing that, and not just with a technology that's going to transmit a frequency, like a trigger word. What do people know them as sleeper cells? Our government's been doing that for a long time,
yeah,
where you could just be a 19-year-old high school student and maybe see a therapist that would suggest you might have borderline schizophrenia, but then a certain word or a combination of words broadcast on your TV could trigger you and this whole mindset of like a killer, a zombie, it's somebody else you never knew you were, and you never know what you're doing.
yeah, yeah. She said in her vision that they were straight up tearing each other apart, dude, with their teeth and everything. It was disgusting.
And I, the movie's just showing you what's coming. You're right. I mean, it's not.
Dude,
It's
yeah. If you watch a movie, you can guarantee that a lot of stuff in there is true. Like, and a lot of series too. I was just thinking about this. Like there's a series about on Amazon. I think it was called like Killers or something. And it was about this group of Jewish people who were hunting down Nazis that were in hiding.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Wasn't
know,
Brad Pitt in that?
no, it's
A
no,
different one.
I know what you're thinking of though, but no, it's man, what's his name? I forget his name, but all these like Hitler was alive, like all these Nazis were in our top seats in our government.
Which isn't too far from the truth.
Right. Same with the show, The Man in High Castle. It's all about what would have happened if the Nazis came to America, right? Which is exactly what happened.
Which is exactly what happened.
Right. That's where NASA came from. Like,
Exactly where NASA came from. All
yeah.
our jet
CIA.
propulsion, rocket propulsion.
Yeah.
Yeah. NASA, and that's where DARPA started too.
Yeah. All German
All
stuff.
they were exonerated from their war crimes and brought over here and put to work.
Yeah, we became the new Nazi nation.
We didn't defeat them. We
No.
just said, "Hey, this is our gig. You're no longer allowed to do that over there. You need to come over here and do
Yeah.
it.
Bring that
Or
stuff
go to
here.
Argentina. Go to Argentina with the rest of them."
Yeah.
Did you know that's where a lot of them migrated to and just continued
Yeah.
in Argentina?
Yeah, I think Hitler probably died of old age.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Or others would say, kind of like became Walt Disney.
Oh yeah? Is that a
Walt-
rumor? Is that a conspiracy theory?
yeah, it's a little bit. So I've read
Dude,
about it a
I
little.
can get on board with that, dude. I
Yeah,
mean, look at the company, bro. It's like completely satanic. Oh my
yep.
goodness, dude. I was
You
watching.
know,
Oh, go ahead.
the first Donald Duck. What Donald Duck was originally drawn for?
Nah.
Hitler propaganda.
Oh, with the join the war thing or whatever, those little cartoons they made where he's like making
So,
bullets and
right,
stuff.
some of the original Disney characters were
I
originally
remember that,
bought
dude.
and paid for to be drawn for propaganda for Hitler.
Yeah, dude. I remember I seen those cartoons. Those old yeah. That's crazy. I'm gonna make a video pretty soon about kids movies, dude.
They're all
They're horrible. I watched Monsters Inc. because I was like, I'm just gonna see what I can see in this movie now. And bro, right off the
yeah,
rip, you know
it is crazy. Some of them. No, here it is. They're only giving me. I'm trying to look up some.
somewhat.
This is Some of the Daffy Duck, the original Daffy Duck.
Oh, huh.
But anyways, all right. Yeah. So that was my presentation. Basically, the whole point of it. If you didn't pick up what I was laying down, was that it's always the same, still the same, nothing new under the sun. You think we're a new world, a new government? We're old world. The new world order, maybe.
Yeah, same
And we're paying,
system,
and
new
every day you're
tricks.
paying homage,
Yeah, yeah,
and they're blue bloods. So
yeah. There's some on Dumbo. There's some evil. Yeah, there's tons of. I'm gonna make a video on kids' movies because nobody should let their children watch this stuff. You know, and
that's why
I'll just
Disney
add
hasn't
this.
come
And
out with anything new.
what's that?
So that's why Disney hasn't come out with anything new.
Right, and it's
They're just remaking because it's the same conditioning of the same thing.
and when you condition your kids with the Disney, they grow up and then they accept the adult stuff and these other movies and the superheroes, and it's like a progression, and it's all about brainwashing and
It absolutely is. I mean, if you were introduced to a Disney movie by your grandmother, you were already born with her belief system that she was programmed with.
yeah.
It only takes one or two generations for it to be encoded into you. You don't even realize it.
That's what my grandma even used to call him. She's like, "Gotta watch my program." I'm like, "Yeah, you do, dude."
And it's funny how they program you to call it a program. You're like, oh, I got to go get conditioned and watch my programming.
Right? The Hollywood is broadcasting their spells across the television, and you get programming. It's like, dude, it's all right in our faces, man. It's just so right in our faces.
Do you know what Epcot originally stood for?
Oh, I feel like I used to know this. Go ahead and tell me.
Okay. Well, hold on. So Epcot is Disney World in Florida,
Right, it's like that big golf ball.
and right. So EPCOT, Epcot, the Epcot Center. It stands for Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow.
Oh yeah, didn't it used to have like I don't I've never been there, but didn't it have like the futuristic stuff in there or something?
Correct. So it was going to be a futuristic city where the people who work for the amusement parks also live there.
That's
It was going to
crazy.
be a cult.
Yeah, dude. Ugh. Dude, the stuff.
So
Go ahead.
when I call him Walt Hitler or Hitler Disney,
Yeah.
you just went from, why do they still teach only the genocide from World War II? Why do they only teach that genocide? I mean, it's a repetitive thing in our history, but why do generations from my grandmother down to my elementary student child being taught the same thing over and over and over again? Why are the same conditioning, programming, Disney movies are over and over and over again?
Yeah, there was much like Joseph Stalin killed way more people.
I know.
He
I
killed like
mean,
60 million people, man.
and you never hear about them.
No. He never even
You
gets
know,
brought up.
I'm not defending any of it, but there is definitely an agenda of why they push it.
Yeah, it's because I mean, I'm not allowed to say it because then I'll be an anti-Semite, but You know,
But it is. You're right.
it's because the modern day Jewish, Israel, the country, they're Luciferians.
Hmm.
They're Satan's people, man. They admit
That's
it
that.
in that Harold Rosenthal interview. If you haven't seen that, people go listen to that. But in that video, he straight up admits it. He says, "We are God's people, but people are." He goes, "But our people don't like to admit it. But our God's Lucifer."
Yep.
Straight up. That if you want to know who Satan's people are, this is Satan's world. If you want to know who his people are, all you gotta do is look who you're not allowed to talk about. That's it, right? There is no anti. You can talk down to Christians. You can talk down to Muslims. You can talk down to anybody you want. But if you say one thing against a Jew, you're a hate monger, anti-Semite, Nazi. It's like, okay. Not really, but if you say so.
And that's the conditioning, a multi-generational conditioning.
Yeah.
And then you got to run out and get your blue blood medicine
Yeah.
because they gave you the same disease.
Crazy, man.
Alrighty. On that note, I'm going to sign off. And I hope you enjoyed what I had to show you today.
No, man, I liked it, and I'm glad that you expounded on the Baphomet Sophia thing. That was good.
Absolutely. I was honestly my pleasure. It gives me more insight on what I'm trying to say and the messages I'm trying to put out there. And if they don't seem right, they seem wrong to you, call me out, question me, ask me to explain it more or again. I mean, I'm only going to get better every time. So I give credit to the viewer. I appreciate it. And God bless all of you. Again, stay vigilant. And may God be with you.
God bless you too, brother. Take care of yourself and be safe.
Thank you.
Keep your eyes off that enemy. He's everywhere. All right, guys. That is the show for this week. So that blue stuff is put in medicine. What are the effects? So, blood clotting. It can poison you. There's a lot of different effects. I would suggest looking it up, because nothing will seal it into your mind like researching it. So, thank you everybody for showing up, and thank you for saying good show. Appreciate you guys here. I know Franz does too. It's always a pleasure to have him on the channel. He's always bringing some pretty awesome stuff. He's definitely deep into the search and definitely led by the Holy Spirit. So it's always a pleasure to have him on. So thank you all for coming, and until 2 weeks from today, I will see you later. Keep an eye out for my Golden Compass video. I will get it on there. Until next time, guys, have a good night. God bless. Take care.